is a mess of incandescent gas, a giant nuclear furnace.
Hi! So today I'm going to be talking about something very important to me, and that is the Save the Bees movement. Okay, so if you haven't heard, do you live under a rock? It's okay, I'm here to enlighten you. So since 2006, the honeybee population in the United States has declined 40%, and in the UK has declined 45% since 2010. Now, this is a lot bigger issue than you may think. You may be like, yay, no more bee stings. Wrong! Honeybees are not only great pollinators, but they're also responsible for the growth of things like chocolate and coffee, and they're rapidly declining in population. Basically, bees are responsible for much of our fruit and vegetable crop, and without them, over 1/3 of that could disappear. We could be saying goodbye to almonds and apricots, blueberries, strawberries, zucchini, just to name a few. So something that is said to be a big factor in the decline of the bee population is pesticides and insecticides. It's said that the chemicals present in insecticides is found in the pollen and nectar of bees. So pesticides are said to affect bees in a number of ways, including their behavioral patterns, their developmental rate, and even affecting their learning process through neurotoxins, which impact their flower and nest capabilities, including navigational skills. And in addition, they greatly impact their digestive and immunity, which makes them more susceptible to diseases and more easy to die. And of course, other factors play into it, like destruction of their natural habitat and climate change. Almost 90% of the world's plants rely on pollinators, and many of the plants we use for food. So basically, no bees, no food. And I have saved many a bee in my time. A lot of times you might see one on the ground or like walking. And if it's just lying on the ground, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's dead. It could just be tired from carrying around pollen all the livelong day. So something that you can do if you're not near a patch of flowers or something, which I'll get to, you can mix a little sugar and water and like put it in a spoon or something, give it to the bee or something just to like re-energize it so it can fly away and keep on doing its thing. And a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about bees, and they may be walking around afraid that they'll be stung, or they might just slap a bee because they don't want it to sting them or something like that. But there are a lot of different types of bees out there, including things that are not bees, hornets and wasps and yellow jackets and things like that. And people are wary kind of all of them because basically all of them can sting you, but some are more likely to sting you than others. For example, there are different types of hornets, such as the bald-faced hornet or the European yellow jacket or the European paper wasp, and they are all obviously not bees. They can sting you multiple times, and that kind of freaks people out. Those are the ones that don't do pollination, and they don't really help with anything. They help with insect control, and that's about it. So, and those are the ones that can sting you multiple times, which makes them even worse because once they sting you, they don't die. Unlike a honeybee or other types of bees like a bumblebee, which are the ones that do the pollination, and they are the ones that if they sting you, then they die immediately after, and that's it for them. So that kind of sucks. So for the most part, actually for the all part, if you don't bother a honeybee or really do anything to them, I don't know how you would even bother them, they will not sting you, especially even bumblebees are even less likely to sting you. So bumblebees are probably pretty identifiable. They're big and they're bright yellow and black and they're like fuzzy, and they're like the cute of the bees. They're the cutes. And then honeybees are pretty orangey yellow, and they're not as like creepy looking as a wasp. I'm sure you know how to identify a honeybee. And there are many different types of bumblebees and honeybees and bees all around. There's charts aplenty on the internet that you can look up if you're curious. Let's take a look. We've got the red-tailed bumblebee. We've got the white-tailed bumblebee. We've got the garden bumblebee and tree bumblebees and early bumblebee, and we've got the common carder bee. They all do wonders for the environment and for our food source. Don't kill them. So you might be wondering, wow, this is depressing. Dana, how can I help? I'm glad you asked. So here are 10 easy steps for you to save the bees. Number 1, support local and organic farmers. Number 2, practice organic gardening at home. This is something I do. I have a garden in my backyard, and there's flowers all over my house, and there's always bees just buzzing around doing their thing, and that really helps them out. Number 3, plant bee-friendly flowers and shrubs. These include, for the springtime, bees really go for thrift, cranesbill, and chives. And then in like early summer, it's kind of like May, June area, they go for lupin, rose, and California lilac. For the high summer, like July-ish, they go for lavender, goldenrod, and fennel. And then in late summer, like August, early September, they go for sunflowers, verbena, and black-eyed Susan. So yeah, those are like the seasonal flowers that bees enjoy. Basically like spring through like early September. Number 4, buy only organic honey. This is important because the beekeepers are more likely to be giving them better health and well-being so that they can produce more honey and pollen and pollinate the earth more. Number 5, become a beekeeper. Number 6, kind of similar to becoming a beekeeper, adopting a hive. If there's like a hive of bees around your house, probably not a wasp nest. You can also contact a local beekeeper and see if there's any hives in their area that you can kind of adopt and keep going. Number 7 is to create a little bee hydrating station. So like I said earlier, you might find a bee on the ground that's kind of tired or like just like sitting there or walking around. But if you set up like a little bowl in your garden or something filled with water would work fine. Or if you want to mix like a little bit of sugar in there, like a sugar water syrup, then that can keep them going. But don't use any artificial sweeteners or honey, which may contain viruses that could be passed on through the bees. Number 8, learn more about these amazing creatures, because the more you know, the more you kind of want to save them and like do your part. And it's not like the hardest thing in the world, and it's kind of fun. And you know, if you don't do it, then you won't get any more. I apologize. My camera died. As I was saying, you won't get any more coffee or chocolate, and that's kind of a bummer. Plus, they're just really awesome, so I don't know why you wouldn't want to save them. Number 9, lobby on behalf of bees. So basically, if you're really passionate about this, you can get your voice out there by talking to local governments and companies that have an influence on making some sort of legislative change on the use of pesticides and insecticides. And that probably would make the biggest of differences if you were wanting to get your voice totally out there and just like, you know, go all out. And the last thing you can do, number 10, is tell a friend. You know, I'm telling all of you watching right now all the things that you can do to save the bees, and if you're watching this, then you can tell all your friends, and then your friends can tell their other friends, and everyone knows to save the bees, and we'll all just be saving bees together, and it'll be awesome. So, in short, thank you for watching this video if you did, and I hope you learned something, and I hope you feel inspired to go out and save the bees, because they're super important to us, and they're dying real fast, so save the bees! Alright, peace out.
When she calls, how come to her? I had a dream, last night, shaking like a soldier in my shoes. I had a dream, you were a laser light, burning